Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be my early summer book haul. I have 17 books to haul. I was actually expecting a package today. I was hoping it would arrive this morning, but it might come later tonight. So if I do, I will insert a clip towards the end of this video of me unboxing 2 other books. I really hope I get them today because I want to read one of them like tomorrow. But anyways, I do have 17 books to haul today. Some of these I have shared throughout my vlogs in the last 2 months. So you've seen some of these books, but I technically have not hauled them yet. I will link all of my recent vlogs down below. I will also link my book shopping vlog. I did buy a couple of books in that vlog, which I did share in that vlog, but I'm also gonna haul them again today. So I think I'll start with the pile of books that I haven't shown in any videos yet. So the first one is Realm of Thieves by Karina Halle. This is her newest release. This is a fantasy. The blurb at the top here says, 2 thieves vie for dominance in the illegal dragon egg trade, putting both their lives and their hearts on the line. I love Karina Halle. I feel like she has a lot of very creative and unique books, so I'm excited to read this. I haven't really heard much about it, to be honest, but I am excited to dive into this, hopefully soon. I also quickly forgot to show my nails. I know you guys often ask the nails that I have every time I have new nails on, so I thought I would quickly show you guys my nails. These are just press-ons or glue-on. I use a glue to put them on, but I thought they were very summery and cute. They definitely don't go with this outfit, but I love these nails. Then I bought The Bad Boy Rule by Maren Moore. I love this cover. It is just so pretty. I'm obsessed with the colors, the blue and the pink. It's just so stunning. I also wanted the other edition that the author had available on her website. However, it was $100 to ship to Canada. So I decided to settle for the Amazon edition. This is a hockey romance, and the male character is a little bit of a player. He's kind of a bad boy. The heroine, of course, is a good girl and a goody two-shoes. I think they end up meeting because they both have to share ice time because Saint, I think, is the hero. He is a hockey player, and Lennon, I believe, is a figure skater, I think. So they have to share ice time, and I believe they do not get along, so it's a little bit of hate to love. It just sounds really fun, and I love a little college hockey romance, and I'm obsessed with the cover. Then I bought Thoughtful by S.C. Stevens. This is, I guess, the 4th, or is it the 5th book in the Thoughtless series. This is basically Thoughtless, but in Kellen's point of view. In one of my vlogs, I was talking about how I wanted to reread Thoughtless and I wanted to annotate it. And one of you guys commented asking if I read Thoughtful, and I kind of forgot this book existed. So I immediately bought it, and I was like, this is the perfect way to reread the series, but also experience a new point of view and get to see the story through Kellen's eyes. So yeah, I immediately grabbed it. Thank you to whoever commented about this book because I totally forgot that this was a thing. I am hesitant to read this though, just because I am scared that it's going to taint my love for Kellen, but I am really excited to dive into this. I really want to try to read this soon. I feel like I need to dedicate a whole day just to read this because I know once I start it, I'm going to be addicted to it. But yeah, I'm excited to reread the series in a new way. So the first book, Thoughtless, follows Kiara, who has a boyfriend named Denny, and they move for his job, but also so that she can attend university. And they end up moving in with Kellen, and Kellen is a local rock star. There's this whole love triangle situation that happens. It's very entertaining, very emotional and heavy, but I really loved the trilogy, and this is in Kellen's point of view. So we get to see everything that happened in the first book, but in his point of view and to see what he was up to when he wasn't with Kira. Then of course I did buy Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. This is her newest release. I have not read this yet, but I'm very excited to. I definitely want to read this in the right moment because Ashley Poston has such a magical way of telling a story. Her books are always filled with grief, but magical realism and hopefulness. Her books are just truly wonderful, but I need to be in the right mind frame to read them. So this, I think, follows Joni. She's one of the most coveted songwriters in LA, yet she can't write. Then she hears a melody in her head, lyricless and half-formed, and an alluring and addicted voice to go with it, belonging apparently to a weary musician with an emptiness of his own. He has a plan for breaking their inconvenienced telepathic connection. Finished the song, haunting them both. I haven't really heard many reviews about this one yet, if people are enjoying this, but I have read all of Ashley's adult romances. The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip are my favorite, and I hope I can add this one to the list because A Novel Love Story was a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm hoping I still love this one. Then we have Cash by Jessica Peterson. This is the first book in the Lucky River Ranch series. This series was originally self-published, but it is now published with Bloom, and I had to get this beautiful edition. I love the cover art, and then I of course love the detailed edges. I just think it is such a beautiful book. This is of course a cowboy romance. I believe the heroine returns to her small town after her father has unexpectedly died, and she inherits his cattle ranch. And she falls in love with the ranch's grumpy foreman, Cash Rivers. I just love cowboy romances, and they remind me so much of summer, so I am hoping to get to this month. Then we have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is her newest book as well. This is, of course, a fantasy. This is a gothic, miscloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. I've heard a little bit of mixed things about this book, but I personally am very excited to read this. I loved the Shepherd King duet, and I cannot wait to see what other fantasy stories that Rachel Gillig could write. Then we have Overruled by Lana Ferguson. This is about two divorce lawyers determined to share only beds and not hearts, and discover that love is something that can't be overruled. It just sounds like a really fun romance, and it's kind of giving me vibes of Sustained by Emma Chase, which I loved. I read that book years and years and years ago, and that is also about two lawyers who are kind of enemies that also have a like friends with benefits situation, or not friends with benefits, enemies with benefits. And this is kind of giving similar vibes. So I am hoping I also love this one. The next book is a book I won from a Goodreads giveaway. I've actually won 2 giveaways before in the past, and those were both for ARCs, and they were like young adult books. But I won Seen Red by Bailey Hanna. This is the second book in the Wells Ranch series. I haven't read the first book yet, so I don't really know like the characters or what is the connection between all the characters, but I think this takes place in like the same small town. A small town sweetheart finds herself unexpectedly pregnant after a one-night stand, binding her to a local cowboy who's had a crush on her for years. I love the surprise pregnancy trope, so I, of course, had to put this on my TBR. I've heard really good things about this book and the rest of the series, so I can't wait to dive into this. Also, the author is Canadian, which I love supporting Canadian authors. So those are all the books that I haven't shown in any recent videos. The next little pile I have were from my book shopping vlog. The first one is Alive in Wells by Bailey Hanna. This is the first book in the Wells Ranch series. I knew that I had won the second book in a giveaway, so I decided to purchase the first book so that I could read them in order. This edition is also signed, which is very, very fun. Her signature is right there. This follows a city girl fleeing an abusive marriage, suddenly finds herself working on a cattle ranch with a sexy but grumpy rancher as her boss. I'm excited to read these two little cowboy romances. They're quite short too, so they'll be easy to binge. So I'm excited to read this one. And then I got Spiral by Bal Cabra. This, I believe, is the second book in the... Oh, I don't think this series has a title. I actually don't even know if this is in connection to Collide, but I read Collide, I think last year. I have like the self-published edition and I somewhat liked it. Like it was a 3-star read for me, but I saw this at the bookstore and it's a hockey romance and I felt so swayed to buy this. The male character is a newly drafted hockey player for the Toronto Thunder. He is facing challenges of fame. And our heroine, Sage, is a inspiring ballerina, but her lack of popularity online leaves her at a major disadvantage. So I believe they decide to fake date to kind of help their online presence. Sounds fun and cute, and again, the author is Canadian, so love that. Then I bought The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. This I've been seeing floating around recently, and I feel like I rarely read historical romance, even though I do love it. I need to read more because I love historical romance. I always think it's fun. This follows a rival ornithologists who hunt through England for a rare magical bird. Historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. I've heard also that the second book is really good too. I believe that one has like a green cover. Like I said, I want to read more historical romances, and this has like a fantasy twist, which I always think is fun. So yeah, hopefully I will get to this one soon. I know I keep saying that about like all of these books, but I do honestly hope that I get to a majority of them before the end of this year. Even though that is very far away still, like we are just in the first half of the year, but I feel like the rest of this year is going to fly by. And then the last book that I bought in that book shopping vlog is The Last Sunrise by Anna Todd. This I have actually already read, and I will talk about it in my wrap up in a few days. But this essentially follows Araya, who is dealing with a lot of chronic health issues and a very overprotective mom. And her mom has this job in Spain, so they go to Spain for, I think, like a month or maybe a couple of weeks, I don't remember. And Araya finally feels like she has a little bit of freedom, and she meets this very mysterious local. I feel like it is quite different from like the After series. It does have some things that are like a little bit similar or reminiscent, but overall this is definitely different from the After series, and I would say this story focuses more on Araya and her mom and like kind of a coming of age story. This is also becoming a movie, which I'm very excited about, and yeah, I'm happy I have already read this. This is also a great read for the summertime. I feel like Anna Todd had a lot of really great descriptions of Spain and it being like really warm and just giving all the summery vibes. Then I have Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry. This is her debut romantasy book. I have already read this and I will talk about it in my wrap up as well. Let's just say I have very unpopular opinions about this book, but the book itself is gorgeous. I got the like special first print edition. It is stunning. I did pre-order this and everything because I have read a majority of Daphne's books and I have enjoyed some of her books. I actually have a few of hers that are like favorites, I would say, of all time. But yeah, this is basically about this princess that has to marry this prince from another realm, and it is very unexpected. Like, she was not trained to marry this prince. It just kind of happened then and there. And her father tasks her with this job to basically find any information about this mysterious city and then also kill the prince's guard. It is a very stunning book. I am happy that I have this edition. Then I bought Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. This I have already read as well, and I will talk about it in the same wrap up. This is actually my favorite Ali Hazelwood book as of right now. It is the only book of hers I have given 4 stars. I just really loved this. It essentially follows Maya, who I think is like in her early 20s, and she's kind of still figuring out her life. Connor is 38. He is successful. He's a lot older. He is Maya's brother's best friend. Maya's brother decides to get married in Italy, so Connor and Maya are kind of stuck on this villa for the week. So they have to kind of finally face their feelings for each other. Another perfect summer read. Highly recommend reading this in the summertime. And then the last 4 I have already shown in videos, but these ones I actually have not read yet. So we have Nocturne by Karina Halle. This is a like dark vampire mystery book. It sounds very interesting. Seven meets LA Confidential with a vampire twist in this true crime and film noir inspired standalone dark romance. In the 1940s, Los Angeles, the murder of Lena's closest friend, known as the Black Dahlia, shocks the city and leaves whispers of a serial killer. Lena crosses paths with Victor, an ex-boxer turned private detective with a tormented soul and haunted past. With each passing night, something primal awakens within him, a heritage concealed since birth. Callan is hunting a killer while unaware that vampire blood runs in his veins. It just sounds really unique and intriguing, and I feel like Karina has such unique stories. I read Death Valley earlier this year by her, and I absolutely loved it. I thought, again, it was so unique and just so haunting, and I knew I had to pick up a copy of this once it was released, and I had to get this edition. There are multiple editions available. You can get this cover, then I think there is another paperback cover. There's 2 hardcover editions as well that you could purchase. I wanted this cover. I just think it's beautiful. So I'm very happy that I have this, and I cannot wait to read this. I feel like this I might save for spooky season. Then we have Be With Me by Gabrielle Sands. This is the first book in the House of Ferraro series. This is a mafia romance. She's the married to-be's perfect daughter. He's the ruthless villain set to ruin her. I've been seeing this everywhere. I've been seeing everybody giving it 5 out of 5 stars, and I have been needing a good mafia romance to read, so I decided to go ahead and pick up the paperback copy because I love this cover. I do think it is very stunning, and I don't know, I have high hopes for this book. I'm really hoping that I will also love it as much as everybody else, but I also feel like I could probably hate it, so we'll see. Then we have Redemption by Lila Dawes. This is another cowboy-esque romance. I believe the heroine has lost her father, and she has to now manage the family ranch and caring for her 4 younger sisters. I guess the ranch is in debt, so she needs some help. And of course, we get this tall, dark, and dangerously handsome man. They strike some sort of a deal. However, he is the man who killed her mother. Was this a cover buy? Yes, it was. I love this cover so much. I believe this is the same artist who did the Bourbon and Lies cover by Victoria Wilder, I think. The cover design is by the Whiskey Ginger. I just absolutely love this cover, and I love the pink spine. And of course, it's a cowboy romance, so I had to get it. And then the last book we have is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This is the first book in the Wolves of Ruin series. This was recently picked up by a publisher, I do believe. I did not want to wait for that copy because it's probably going to be in hardcover and it's going to be like $1 million. So I just bought the self-published edition that was still available on Amazon. I was hearing a lot of buzz about this, and I don't remember if it was just because like the authors are too mysterious. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, because it says it's the pen name of 2 good friends and fantasy fangirls who teamed up to write novels. I do wonder who this author is because there's no like picture or information, but I heard a lot of buzz about this. I've heard a lot of good things. I know a lot of people really enjoyed this book. When Marin's sister is kidnapped by the enemy, Marin is desperate to get across the border to save her sister. But she doesn't realize there are bonding trials this year, meaning all soldiers are forced to risk their lives to connect with a direwolf, and Marin is thrown into the deadly competition. Now she'll need to survive the next 4 months of training. And her gorgeous instructor, Stark, is as malicious as the wolves himself. Everyone is out to get her. Everyone but the dangerously handsome crown prince. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of a love triangle aspect in here, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. I like reading really popular romanticies or fantasies in general just to see if I like them and if I get the hype. Usually I don't like them, but I still like to try. I just think it's fun. And sometimes I do get a little FOMO, so I, of course, had to pick this one up. I honestly don't think I'm getting that other book package today, which is so disappointing. I was gonna insert it here, but I don't think I am getting the package today. I will just have to save them for my next haul. But I hope you guys enjoyed this haul. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you think about them. Obviously, don't spoil me on any of the ones that I haven't read yet. Or let me know any of your recent book buys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.